Good day. My name is Rhoda Hlengi Mthembu. I would like to take this opportunity to greet you all and trust that you are well and safe. We know we are within the trying times, not only in terms of health, but also in terms of our economy. Given the current pandemic that is faced by our country, but as well as the global world in terms of coronavirus. We therefore would like to take this opportunity to appreciate and think this platform will help us to really engage on issues that affect all of us. We know that given the current situation, this is not only affecting you and your loved ones, but it's affecting both social, political, economic, and actually our physical and emotional being. We know currently that we are under lockdown and that so many sectors are unable to operate as a result, and such that we are unable to get proper income that will be sufficient for us to actually cover all our household needs. I come from an organization called Consumer Financial Education Foundation, where we really realize the need to educate and inform people around the issues that affect our financial well-being, to a point where we find ourselves very depressed. We find ourselves unable to function normally because of financial constraints. We know we come from very disadvantaged era in terms of not being able to be economically emancipated, and as well as to the legacy of our of apartheid. And therefore, this conversation today is mainly to say, how do we actually begin to help each other in understanding the implications of financial emancipation and the need for us to be united. I think this pandemic is really asking us to stand together in solidarity with one another to say, what is it that we can actually empower each other on? And this is a great platform for me. And I thank you, each and everyone that have actually initiated such a platform where we can engage on issues that are really of our daily struggles. And I trust that this will be actually an ongoing platform where we can further engage on various topics. I mainly specialize on financial well-being, where I see the need for us to educate each other and to actually look for opportunities where we can actually empower each other. We know as women that we find ourselves, there is a lot of dependency that the system actually has created, where we find ourselves in abusive relationship because we are unable to fend for ourselves, to fend for our families, and therefore there is this dependency on maybe on a man, and that expose us or expose our vulnerability in so many ways. And therefore, given the current situation of COVID-19, I would like to emphasize more where we find ourselves in a financial anxiety, not knowing where is our next bread is going to come from, not knowing how our a bit of income that we're getting is actually going to stretch, and what is it that we need to do. I've seen and I've observed a lot of times, and when you're watching the news, you see people flooding the stores and buying, and you ask yourself, what is it that we define as essential? How are we saving? How are your policies or your insurances actually coming to help you in this time? Do you even know what type of policy policies, and what is it that actually you've been paying for, and is it something that can actually come and rescue you in these financial times? Because we need to be able to balance both our health and both our financial well-being. Given the current situation, we know that most of us are actually not able to actually meet our monthly obligations, given that we have not worked for a month. And that, again, it comes with its own implications. We know that most of our financial sectors, financial institutions are offering to give us payment holidays. What does that mean to me? What does that mean to you? If you have a debt, if you have a bond, if you have a car that you need to pay, if you have loans that you have to pay, credit cards, clothing accounts that you have to pay, and we need to be able to engage further to say, how is your family that's dependent on you going to be actually be able to be sustained? How are you as a person going to survive and sustain yourself and your loved one, your family, your household, and all these obligations that we find ourselves having to deal with on a monthly basis? And therefore, as Rhoda and coming from an organization which is a nonprofit, it is important for me to engage you on really various topics that, as this group grow, and hopefully we are able to engage and share a lot of insights that will be able to help one another to unpack and look at what is it that we can, as women, help each other in empowering and making sure that we are an informed individuals that are able to make informed decisions, and both financially, but also that will improve our financial well-being and improve our communities. We know that as women, we have so much to offer. How do we then create a space for each and everyone to be able to participate? And we need to help each other, not only as women, but also how do we help our society? How do we train a young child, a young woman, to be able to find and be able to work hard and to understand that nothing ever gonna come easy? We therefore need to be able to open our resources, to open up and platforms such as this, where we are able to engage and show knowledge. I would like to share more with you, and I trust this platform will actually allow me to learn as much as I can also from your different expertise that you'll be sharing in this platform. And yes, I am reachable on this number 079-271-6876, and I'm willing to actually share my knowledge and my journey around financial freedom. We need to get to a point where we teach ourselves, how do we create wealth? How do we sustain ourselves? How do we create balance, both physically, emotionally, spiritually, and really, for me, I stand for financial well-being. We need to be able to be financially enabled to do things that we have never thought we will be able to do, things that are of building society, things that are of building one another. And I trust that through this platform, we'll be able to share more insights, and I'll be able to share my journey on financial freedom, and which we all need, which we all have to work and aspire to be more, and to be able to give of ourselves, of our time, and not expecting any financial gain, but for the better good of our society. Nkosi sikelela iAfrika, and may you have a blessed Sunday.